Welcome to this explainer. Getting a new business off the ground is super exciting, but if your foundation is kinda shaky, trying to scale later on is going to be a massive headache. So if you're an early-stage Canadian small business owner who just chose a business structure, or maybe you're right on the fence about choosing one, you are in exactly the right spot. Today, we're looking at how to set up the basics so your business can actually hold its shape as it grows. We're keeping things clear, calm, and super practical today. Oh, and just a quick heads up before we dive in, while we're covering some really great ground, this explainer is strictly for educational purposes. It doesn't replace actual legal, tax, or accounting advice. All right, let's jump right into it.
To kick things off, let's get oriented. This guide is part of what we call the Built to Thrive framework, and specifically, it lives right inside the formation and structure domain. Think of this as your legal identity and your organizational foundation. Getting this piece of the puzzle right early on, it literally prevents so much avoidable friction later down the road.
Now, within that framework, everything develops through three distinct layers. First up is awareness, and that's all about understanding what structure actually means and where common problems start popping up. Then we hit practice. This is where we take things out of theory and into action, helping you put the basic setup pieces into place. Finally, there's maturity, which helps you operate consistently and keep that structure crystal clear as you grow. And I am really excited to tell you that this is the very first practice guide in our Set Up Your Structure path.
So, if you only remember one thing today, let it be this core message. Setup should always follow structure. I mean, you wouldn't start framing a house before you poured the concrete, right? It's the exact same concept here. Before you officially register, before you incorporate, before you apply for bank accounts, sign any agreements, or start throwing a business name out there publicly, you absolutely have to know which setup path fits your specific business. A weak start just forces the rest of your business to compensate later, so we definitely want to build on solid ground right from day one.
Okay, let's put this into practice with our first 4 steps. Step 1 is confirming the structure you're actually setting up. Whether you're a sole proprietor, a corporation, a partnership, or in a multi-owner situation, each of those follows a completely different setup path. Step 2, clarify that business name before you use it everywhere. Keep in mind, a business name is totally different from a CRA business number or a corporation number. Step 3 is identifying your correct setup path. You need to know if you're doing a simple sole proprietor registration or maybe weighing federal versus provincial incorporation. And step 4, check your permits, licenses, and operating permissions. Because just registering a business doesn't automatically mean you have the legal green light to operate in every single way, or in every municipality.
Moving right along, once your initial path is clear, Step 5 reminds us to stick to official setup sources. We're talking official, federal, provincial, territorial, and municipal registries. Step 6 is an absolute must. Know exactly when to pause and get help before you file anything. If you've got any uncertainty about ownership, multiple owners, complex contracts, high liability, or maybe you're operating across multiple provinces, stop and get some professional guidance. Finally, Step 7 is handing off your financial setup to the tax and financial discipline domain. This is essentially where you officially pass the baton for things like banking, record-keeping, GST/HST, and bookkeeping, right over to the financial side of your business.
Now, to help you put all of this together without feeling totally overwhelmed, we've got a matching tool, the Structure Setup Checklist. It's designed to keep you perfectly on track. Plus, if you need to dig a little deeper into any of these concepts, we've got 3 highly targeted explainers ready to go. They break down the real differences between business names and numbers, the whole registering a name versus incorporating debate, and the nuances of federal versus provincial incorporation.
As I mentioned earlier, this is the very first practice guide in the Set Up Your Structure path. And now that you've got the basic physical pieces in place, the next guide in the sequence is called Clarify Ownership, Decisions, and Responsibility Early. I am super excited for you to hit that stage. That's really where we take this structure you've just built and make sure everyone involved knows exactly who is responsible for what. It's an absolute game changer for smooth operations. Well, to wrap things up, I want to leave you with this really empowering thought. A business does not need to be complicated to be set up properly, but setup works best when it follows a clear structure decision. You absolutely don't have to build an empire on day one, but the foundation you pour today needs to be solid enough to hold whatever you decide to build tomorrow. So ask yourself, if your business suddenly doubled in size next month, would your current foundation hold its shape or would it crack? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I can't wait to guide you through the next one.